This episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Pendleton Ammunition. Hunting ammunition for your rifle, hand-loaded, one round at a time. We have a special episode for you this week. I've traveled back out to northern Wyoming to hunt with an outfitter that on and off for the last 25 years I've been hunting with. Now this is a destination that we booked for at Steve's Outdoor Adventures, and literally hundreds of our clients over the last 2.5 decades have traveled here to hunt for mule deer, antelope, and this week's target, whitetail. The home ranch is 4,600 acres, featuring a 90-acre lake loaded with smallmouth bass and 8 miles of river bottom winding through pristine deer habitat. In total, they hunt tens of thousands of acres of private lands, and the new 6,000 square foot lodge features 8 bedrooms with an en-suite bathroom, a professional kitchen, dining area, and a great room for gathering after a day in the field. The lodge sits on a hill separating the lake from the river bottom with a $1 million view. The river bottom pasture is planted with wheat, corn and soybeans, as well as alfalfa that are a strong draw, pulling the whitetail and mule deer into the center of the property. And this is where our hunt will be based out of, a week in hunting heaven right here in northern Wyoming. Each year, our clients ask us about applying for tags across the western United States, including Alaska, for limited entry big game hunts for elk, mule deer, bighorn sheep, moose, pronghorn antelope, and even whitetail. I have heard this tremendous demand from our clients to offer a more inclusive tag application program, and we're happy to announce that to fill those requests, we have launched the new SOA Tags program, specifically designed to meet the needs of our clients who want to apply for quality hunting opportunities each year, as well as accumulate preference and bonus points across the western states. Not only will our SOA Tags program customers have an opportunity to draw incredible big game tags each year, but they will also begin to accumulate bonus and preference points each season that open doors in the future that would otherwise be closed. And any hunter who draws a tag has full access to the Steve's Outdoor Adventures outfitters and guides who will provide you with a world-class hunting experience. If you'd like to learn more about the new SOA Tags program, give our office a call or go to the website address listed at the bottom of the screen. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, just got here to Wyoming, got settled at the lodge, but our first order of business is to get over to the rifle range and check the zero on our guns. This week, I'm going into the field with a rifle package that I have a lot of confidence in. It's the new Bergara Premier Series MG Light. This is the magnesium chassis stock. It is an exceptionally accurate rifle model, and it's chambered in the new 7 PRC. Now 7 PRC shoots a big, heavy, high ballistic coefficient bullet, and in this case, I'm shooting the 175 grain Hornady ELDX, hand-loaded at Pendleton Ammunition, and this gun is topped with the Burris Eliminator 6 laser scope. It is programmed to the exact ballistics of the rifle and custom ammunition, and it has been verified at extreme distances. I have a lot of confidence in this combination of rifle, scope, ammunition, and even suppressor, so that when I go in the field this week and I see a deer at 300, 400, 500, 600 yards, I know that when I pull the trigger, I'm gonna put the deer down. A little low, a little right. Didn't feel good on my first shot. I'll set another one. That's better. With my 100-yard zero confirmed, I decided to take advantage of this awesome rifle range and verify my scope's programming and shoot the 400-yard steel plate. And why not shoot the 500-yard plate while I'm there? With my rifle confirmed and a few hours of daylight left, Bryce and I headed out for a quick evening hunt.
There's a field down here below us on the edge of the river and a wood lot. There's 2 different whitetail bucks in the field right now. Well, one just walked out to the right. He'd had enough of us. The other one don't seem to care at all.
The style of hunting in this part of Wyoming is primarily covering a lot of ground, using 4-wheel drive trucks, UTVs, different modes of transportation to Cruise up big valleys, glass big hillsides and canyons and draws, look at as many pockets as possible, glass them from a distance, set up the spot and scope, look at animals in detail, but really you have to cover a lot of country out here in order to find the good mature deer. And vehicle-based hunting is a little bit hard to film, but it allows us to see a lot more animals.
Tonight was kind of all about just getting out here, put eyes on some deer, see the landscape, find out how Bryce wanted to hunt these. We got a pretty good idea of what we want to do tomorrow. And the weather's perfect for it. Perfect plans. Get out and go hunting.
Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Bergara Rifles, featuring the new Pure Carbon barrels and a sub-MOA guarantee. Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Burris Optics and the new Burris Veracity PH Rifle Scope. All right, first morning here in Wyoming. Light overcast, beautiful sunrise coming up, perfect temperature. Let's roll. The plan for the morning was first to drive the foothills glassing for deer leaving the fields and heading toward bedding areas. At first light, this is generally very productive. Another benefit to hunting this area in mid-November is seeing a lot of the rutting mule deer bucks, and it wasn't long before we spotted our first muley of the day.
It's always fun to come out here and look at all the deer. I haven't seen a buck that good at home in years, and that's not even like what we call a trophy buck here. It's just a nice 4-point mule deer, and to come from someplace where the numbers are way, way, way down to someplace with a lot of animals is a lot of fun. I like looking at him on the skyline. He's pretty.
The hope is to spot a buck chasing does, figure out where they're going, and then put a stalk on them. For hunters in the Midwest and back east, the concept of spot and stalk hunting for a whitetail seems impossible. When you're used to hunting the most elusive deer species from tree stands and ground blinds, a Western hunt can be intimidating, but it's a great way to hone your other skills, cover a lot more country, and see a lot more deer. We continued our drive across the high country to a vantage point overlooking the river bottom. We passed through the old mining sites with steam rising from deep below in the reclamation projects that have restored it from the deep coal mine pits of the past to the rolling grasslands and wildlife habitat that we see here today.
So we're up here on top of the vantage point, glassing into this bottom. There's a few deer down there, but they're not moving around a whole lot yet. Hopefully we'll catch a good glimpse of a big buck before too long.
After a short while, Bryce decided that he wanted to sneak into the river bottom and set up below the fence line to do a rattling sequence. The goal was to draw a big buck that he had been seeing there out of the heavy cover along the river bottom and into the open for a shot.
Oh, it's been an awesome morning. It's staying cold today. Let me see your breath. Definitely mid-November. The rut's on. I can hardly wait to get out for the evening hunt, but we're gonna run in and get a little bit of breakfast. We'll be right back out here getting after it.
After a great morning hunt, we headed back to the lodge for breakfast, and then we let a few hours pass. The short November days go by fast, and before long, it was time to head back out again. This segment of Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Green Mountain Grills, the pellet grill for every home and every adventure.
It's been a nice, clear, cold day. The sun finally came out here this evening. We're getting ready to roll out this afternoon. We're gonna get in a box blind. It's an elevated box blind that's on a ridge overlooking a big bend in the river where there's a bunch of agriculture that's been planted specifically for the deer. We're gonna head out there, sit for the last 3 hours of light this afternoon. Hopefully we're gonna get eyes on a big 10 they've had eyes on down there. Keep our fingers crossed, might be our night. Bryce is dropping me off here. I climb up, get in the blind. I got my rifle up there and all my gear. There's deer coming out of the field all over the place, so it's a pretty good spot for action. I think we're pretty high hopes for tonight. We're set up here this evening. This elevated stand, you know, I've not hunted in a lot of these over the course of my career because I've hunted out west. But in this instance, it's perfect. We got enclosed sound, enclosed scent, got a great field of view. I can start way over here, loop all the way around back over here. I'll bet there's 300 degrees of shooting here. You know, the cold wind isn't on me, but I've got alfalfa, corn with soybeans, some other, it looks like maybe like maybe like triticale or some sort of a seed head over there in the gray. I mean, it's just a perfect setup for this evening's hunt. And the river bends all the way around us. Like it's literally right in a big horseshoe here. It's 314 yards to the trees over there. I can range everything with the eliminate arrows here. .308, 314, 313, yeah. Everything's easy shot distance. There's a buck that just came off the hill. He must have been bedded in the brush up there. He just came down, coming into the river bottom. Yeah, he's just in the shadows down there. Get across the river and come over in the field, I'm sure. That's the first buck coming back down into the field tonight. So this little buck came off the hill across the river. He's about 150 yards away from us, walking right at us right now. I love it because a deer attracts more deer. Now there's 5 deer in the field behind us. 4 whitetail and what looks to be a mule deer doe. But yeah, this buck coming right at us. He's headed for the corn and soybeans here. We just need some more deer and move him, but him being out there will attract more deer, so I don't want to spook him off. Be real careful, real quiet in here, and hopefully we'll get eyes on something big. 2 more small whitetail bucks are coming across some CRP grass. Head toward the green field. There's a mule deer buck, a little itty bitty one in front of them. Then the small buck there. There was some deer out behind us. They're all starting to show up here right now. This could be a good time for them to pop in the field. If we get some does out here, I think we're gonna see some rutting action, but we haven't seen any does out in front of us yet. Probably just a matter of time. They've been crossing the river right here. Now one just did a scrape by the cottonwood. It's coming out. There's a doe like 40 feet in front of it now. There's a doe right in front of him to the left. Oh yeah, we're about surrounded by deer now. There's another one coming out, back on the edge of the green. It's starting to get dark. The sun goes down, the deer come out. All right, just pulled up to pick us up here tonight. We saw a lot of young deer, just no big bucks. I'm gonna slip out of here, get out of the blind. Probably be back here tomorrow night unless we see something good in the morning. Let's hit it.
My hunt for a Wyoming whitetail continues after this short commercial break. Steve's Outdoor Adventures is sponsored by Pendleton Ammunition and their line of hand-loaded Performance TSS turkey loads. If you would like to book this hunt or any other hunting or fishing adventure, give our office a call. We will gladly take your calls, answer your questions, and help you book the adventure of a lifetime. The next day, we cruised around and glassed a lot of country. The deer were out, and while we saw a few whitetails, the right buck just didn't materialize. But the day did give me a chance to go see some of the mule deer bucks. The rut brings them out into the open. And these are bucks that should be coming back next year. A year older, and if you can believe it, a year bigger. It was a good day, but my tag was still unfilled, and I had one day left to hunt.
It's a clear, cold morning. It's about 20 degrees outside. We had a good hard frost. Bryce is in the truck, ready to go. Let's do this.
The next day, it was a lot colder, and the morning had a feel to it. And it wasn't long before we had found what could be Bryce's target buck.
There's a big buck out here in this field. He's rutting some does. We're not gonna have a lot of time because they're gonna head for the creek bottom for sure.
Once we spotted this buck, we had some really limited opportunities for figuring out where we were going to make our approach from. And one of them, unfortunately, took us to the bluff overlooking the deer, which was going to leave us skylined, but I knew that if we acted quick, we would get our shot. Sure enough, we skylined and the deer took off for the far tree line and the safety of the river bottom. But this is no time to panic. I worked my progressions. Get the rifle in the tripod and set up. Get level. Acquire the target. Range the target. Get steady. All of this only takes a few seconds. And while the deer was running away, I worked it. And when he stopped, I was ready.
All right. They're going. 388, moving right. 415. I'm gonna take him. That's how you do it right there.
Nice work.
That's how you do it. Smoke them.
Nice work.
Thanks, bud.
Great shot.
Thanks. Man, it's cold, frosty morning. We've given this buck a little bit of time to, lay down, be good and dead. I'm gonna drop off the hill, go straight to him. This is a big deer. Nice looking buck. Hard to wait to get my hands on him. He's done. They broke his front off. That's cool. Character. Does have the big brows.
Yeah, okay.
Good work, man. Thank you.
How's the buck you're after?
That was the target deer.
Yeah.
It all works out anyway.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks.
That's terrific. How's one going?
I gave you the tag. Oh, I still have it, don't I?
Got knocked out?
All right, so what do we gotta do here?
So, sign, date.
Sign the date.
We loaded the buck up and drove back to the lodge. And while Brian and Bryce skinned and caped the buck, I reflected on how far this operation has come from the late 90s until now, from the old Red Lodge to the new one I stayed at this week. Memories from past hunts live on in my memories and in video. And with any luck, I'll make a return trip soon. And I know that my clients are in good hands each season. Well, as you can see, the hunting here in northern Wyoming is absolutely spectacular. There are uncountable numbers of whitetail, mule deer, antelope, and even elk that roam the tens of thousands of acres that are being hunted here and under wildlife management with our outfitter. And I got to spend a few days in the field with a longtime friend's son, and it's refreshing to see that second generation moving up and taking the reins and going into the field with the clients. This is a hunt that I am likely never to forget. In fact, if this is a hunt that you'd like to book for yourself, give my office a call. We're always available to take your calls, answer your questions, and help you book that hunting or fishing trip of a lifetime. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's show. But please remember to join us again next week when we bring you another exciting episode of Steve's Outdoor Adventures. If you enjoyed this episode, please click like and subscribe to see more of Steve's Outdoor Adventures right here on YouTube.